Do you see a lot of symbolism in the world today, like what we're talking about?
Well, there was a period of time up until maybe 10 or 15 years ago that the devil really tried to remain hidden. And his biggest deception was to convince people he didn't exist. And that went on for a long time, where people were just like, oh, that's just not real, that's fake. You know, even the head of the Jesuit order right now, the current head, you know, it was just a couple of years ago, he came out and said, the devil's not a real person, it's just it's an idea, it's not real. I'm sorry, Jesus didn't go into the desert and do battle with an idea. I think he was face to face with a man or a person. So even in, you know, the highest levels of religious life in the world, who also from their community, we have a pope. And apparently that guy didn't believe the devil was a real person. So it's an odd time. Where are we going with this?
Symbolism.
Oh, the symbolism. Okay, so, but in the last 15 years, it is all out, I'm alive and well and with you, and I'm proud to be Satan. Worship me, right? We see it at the Super Bowl halftime performances, all these award shows. I mean, it's everywhere, and it's so blatant. And the concerts.
What are some of the specific symbols you're seeing?
Pentagrams, upside down crucifixes. The Ouija board is everywhere. I was just in a city, the suburb of Pittsburgh. They go, you know, just down the road is the largest Ouija board in the world. It's the whole roof of a hotel. And I'm like, I don't need to see that. But it's growing in popularity. People are getting, and we're coming up on the worst season of the year. So Halloween is the devil's holy day. That's his day. People get angry with me. They say, Father, it's just kids putting on costumes, trick-or-treating. No, not really, because you're really participating in his day. And why would you want to participate in anything that's giving glory to the devil? I had a couple of families in the last parish leave the school, withdrew from the school because we didn't have Halloween in the school. And I'm like, this is your hill you're going to die on is Halloween? Like, you're not going to do well in what's coming in the future if this is your big thing. Mm-hmm. They left. In New York City, where I'm from, there was an exorcist there when I was on Wall Street. After my conversion, I met with him. His name was Father James Labar, God rest his soul, pioneer exorcist of our day. And he told me that Halloween's the most dangerous season of the year for the homeless. I'm like, well, why is that? Are they eating bad candy? What's going on here? He's like, no. They have these vans that come around and they tell the homeless they're going to take them to a shelter. They've got whole big meals set up for them and showers, and they can wash their clothes and all this. And a lot of them get in the vans and go. And then they tie them up and they hold them for the 31st. And then they sacrifice them on the evening of Halloween to the devil. And it's like a perfect crime because nobody's looking for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's a big deal. It's a real thing. There is a video on YouTube, which I'm shocked it hasn't been pulled down because it's a guy about 20 years old who was raised in an occult family, and he was groomed to become the chief witch that was going to execute a girl on Halloween and offer her to the devil. And he went through with it, and he talks about it face to face with the interviewer who's from some Christian network. And he says, you know, it's all part of the ceremony. This is to get more power. We have to offer them a human life. And so it's usually a young woman.
What kind of power do they get?
More demonic power, so they can have more influence, so they can have more wealth, they can have more success. But it's only fleeting. It's not forever. And then, of course, at the end of life, there's a big problem getting out of it.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, would you say your friend was a pioneer exorcist? What does that mean? How was he a pioneer?
Because for a while, the church just stopped it. There was really no exorcism happening. I remember when I first came back to the church, my friend, Father Benedict Rochelle, he told me, I had said to him one day, I said, there was something crazy happening in the church. I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't off the charts, but it was something stupid. And I go, why does this stuff keep happening? Why is it so messed up? The church seems to be a complete mess a lot of the time. And he says, I'll tell you why. He says, because in America, we have 2,500 canon lawyers and 11 exorcists. That number should be reversed. No disrespect to the canon lawyers who are watching. We need you, we love you. But he makes a point. If evil's having its day, we need to be more offensive in fighting it.
I think my last question is, at the beginning of this, you had mentioned that demons, you had mentioned some type of a reference where you said demons are very much like lawyers or attorneys. And I've heard similar things before. Could you expound on that a little bit and explain why that is?
Because when God set up the world and creation in the universe, including the spiritual aspects, there's a divine providence that governs everything. And in as much as we can understand it, and they understand it more because they're smarter than we are, basically, when we live our lives loving and obeying God and his laws, basically we're protected from the supernatural power of the enemy. The natural power is temptation. We're all subject to that through the original sin and through concupiscence that we're all saddled with. But from the supernatural works of the enemy, usually we're protected. Now, in very rare cases, like Padre Pio and St. John Vianney and St. Anthony in the Desert, when they can't get their soul, they can just physically attack them. And so many of these saints were beaten during the night. And you would say, well, why does God allow that? Well, he allows it to bring forth a greater good. What would the greater good be? That those saints knew that what was happening, and they would be offering that to Jesus and uniting to his cross to convert their sufferings into grace to save more souls. And so in every attack the enemy throws at us, we have the power to overcome him by uniting to Jesus' cross and converting our trials into grace to rescue more souls back from the enemy. The problem is most people don't do this, and the enemy winds up winning that battle because they don't fight back. And in some cases, they use the enemy's tactics to get revenge. But that's a side story. So, again, we were talking about
legalities.
The legal aspects. Okay, I'm getting a little bit brain fog. It's been a few hours. So they know they don't have domain over us because we have free will. We have to choose to go against God to open up a door that they can come in. And that's what they do. And they're very patient. They're patient, legalistic spirits. And they just wait and they wait. So they throw out a little mild temptation to open a little bit of crack. And then once they get in there, they throw another temptation to open it wider. And all of a sudden they have, some guy on a rabbit hole in pornography for 3 hours going down this rabbit hole. And then eventually going out and acquiring a hooker for, gratuitous sex. And now they own him. Till he gets free, they own him. And they know their legal limits. The minute he repents and asks for God's absolution and mercy, they kind of have to go. And they know that too. So they kind of keep you away from getting back to God. And they'll put roadblocks in your path, and they'll make excuses, and they'll feed you all these lies to get you convinced it's not worth it, just stay where you are. But they work the system, and they know how to do it. I mean, these things have been around since creation, watching humans. And I know we all like to think we're special and unique, but we're really not. And they've been watching us for thousands and thousands of years, and they know how the human person works. And you gotta, unless you're under God's protection and he's watching out for you, you're never gonna beat him, because they're a lot stronger than us. But on the flip side, you plus Jesus always equals victory. If you want to put it in simple terms, that's it. You plus Jesus will always equal victory, and you never have to be afraid.
Thank you for saying that. Well, I want to, it's been a long interview. I did want to wrap this up. I have a lot more questions, but I'll keep them at bay for now. But
yeah, and we can have a cup of coffee if you want to talk about other stuff and other time.
I would love that.
I would love if you came down to church one Sunday,
I will do that.
10:30. But make sure I'm in town. I'm leaving for 2 weeks. I'm dreading this trip because I feel like I'm going to get trapped in Europe at the worst possible time. I still have these weird, like, should I really be going on this trip? Am I going to get back? I'm going to be trapped in a war?
Well, we'll be praying for you.
Thank you.
And I will come down and join you for
That'd be
Mass.
great.
Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah. And I invite you to confession too.
Thank you.
You got to I have to throw it out there. I'd be remiss in my job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Father.
This
God
is great.
bless you. No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.